Our team always tries to show you something different and best from our videos. Today in this video we will show the T10 Adventures event, which is recorded in GoPro cam. A lot of you are very eager to go out and discover the exciting things that the world has to offer. If you're an adventurer, you probably have a GoPro, or at least you travel with someone who has one. They are very practical cameras and they're very easy to bring it on the road and set them up pretty much anywhere to capture. The most exciting part of any adventurous trip. However, some people out there have found some surprises while exploring with their cameras, and today we're taking a look at 10 of the creepiest things caught on those GoPros. The people behind these videos were not aware that they would witness these shocking findings. Some of them even help to solve mysteries that have been going on for years. Once you're done watching this video, you're going to want to go out with a GoPro. If you can catch some interesting and perhaps even creepy footage with all that's said and done. Now, let's begin to the number 10. Number 10. You can strap a GoPro on different parts of your body, but you can also strap it to your dog's body to sort of getting a perspective from their point of view. A lot of people like to do that. Thanks to that, a guy in Oregon was able to find some rather shocking footage that a lot of people claimed to be a sighting of Bigfoot. The guy and his dog went for their regular walk in the forest when they came across this strange figure that was standing like a human. It was very hairy and had the appearance of an ape. When the video went viral, a lot of people started to assume that it was most definitely Bigfoot. Others, however, questioned the authenticity of the clip due to the dog's reaction, because the dog didn't seem shocked or scared at all. We can assume this dog is either very comfortable with Bigfoot around, or the whole thing was set up. One thing is for sure, it's still pretty creepy. Number 9. We're not sure how many of you are into this, but if you like exploring haunted houses, make sure you bring a GoPro when you go. This group of teenagers who decide to explore a haunted house and see what was inside. As soon as you see the footage, you can see that the house has a very disturbing and scary look. But what else can you expect from a haunted house? Now, the creepiest part about this footage comes from around the 5 minutes 53 second mark. This is when we can see some shadow lurking in the background. Is it a ghost? Or is it the spirit of a previous resident? Well, it's hard to tell, but the movement in the shadows definitely implies that something supernatural is likely happening inside that house. Sometimes this kind of phenomenon can't be spotted with our human eyes, and that's why it's always good to bring a camera along. The next, number 8, doesn't even last 1 minute long. It's a simple bike ride and it looks like a regular ride around a village. But suddenly a creature. Number 7. Abandoned Canadian house is now famous for horror stories, and here's another story about a house. This one is an abandoned house in Canada that 2 YouTubers decided to explore. The person behind the camera says that he is not a believer of the paranormal, but he admits that he has encountered some eerie experiences from time to time, like the one on this video. When they enter the house, they started to experience all sorts of creepy feelings, but the scariest sight of them all was out of a door that kept and made a lot of cracking noises. When the guys finally decided to open the door, they found no one on the other side. Then their camera turns around. They get a glimpse of the stairs. They say the way they were feeling does not translate into what you can watch on the video. However, just by looking at that door and the way things are laying around, we can totally see that this is not a place anyone would ever like to visit for too long. The guys finally got out of the house. They say that they felt like someone was following them. Good thing they brought a camera goes, but some people might find this story hard to believe. Number 6. When teenager Maxwell Renko went to explore Griffin Lake in Canada, he spotted a strange rectangular object. While being on his paddleboard, after having a closer look, he realized it was a car. Everyone in the area thought it was a car that had not been removed after a terrible accident in 2009. However, when an officer came to the area for a picnic, he admitted that the car from 2009 had definitely been removed back. The water was a bit murky and it didn't allow the officer to spot the car. Maxwell recorded everything with his GoPro. The car was finally removed, and soon enough they found out the car belonged to Janet Ferris, a 70-year-old woman who went missing back in 1992. She disappeared on the way to her niece's wedding, and her family never heard back from her again. Surely, it was relieving to the family to finally what had happened to this lady, even though they had already given up. Number 5. Next on this list, we have a video so frightening that it even got a GoPro award. It was taken by Johan Polksgeider as he went down to explore the ocean off the coast of South Africa. He was just minding his own business, exploring the unknown underwater world, when all of a sudden a great white shark swam right in front of him. You can see in the video how scary this is, as a shark literally came out of nowhere. Mostly the great white sharks are not to be messed with. Usually people who get footage of these massive beasts are prepared to come face to face with them. But you can see that Johan was not expecting to spot this dangerous animal so close to him. He was definitely lucky because we all know about even a small bike can give big damage to anyone. Number 4. Ziplining. There's nothing creepier than the idea of death. Especially when you're up in the clouds in the middle of a malfunctioning ziplining ride. This is exactly what you can see on the GoPro with the person stuck halfway through his ziplining ride due to a knot that kept him from moving forward. The person was trying hard to move forward until he finally gave up and detached himself from the line. Thanks to the GoPro camera, we can see just how scary it was to be hanging from up high. However, this person had a parachute that allowed him to go down to the ground without any major problem. These people will never forgive this moment, and many of us will now think at 20 before we decided to go on a ride as sketchy as this one. Number 3. Trainspotting YouTuber Brian Garcia and his friends were hanging out when they found themselves in an experience that brought them very close to their deaths. It all happened around the train tracks in a neighborhood that's very close to Los Angeles, just like many teenagers out there. They thought it would be cool to explore a dark tunnel in which a lot of trains passed by. It all seemed good and safe, and it seemed like they were going to be able to make it to the other side of the tunnel without a problem. Unfortunately, when they least expected it, a train was coming their way. They had to run for their lives and get out of the tunnel before being smashed by the huge machine. Luckily they did make it out alive, and they had a GoPro. They recorded the whole thing. The footage is certainly better than any action movie out there. These are real people that were close to losing their lives. The good thing is that they did survive and the video did not end in tragedy. Before moving to our next number, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Press the bell icon to watch our upcoming new videos. Now number 2. To go into the mountains, you got to be ready to find out sorts of things. This man decided to attach a GoPro to his little mountain bike just in case he found something interesting. After a few minutes of riding, we can see how the biker comes face to face with a very hairy creature that could easily knock him off the bike in case things got worse. The person decided to jump off the bike, but he kept recording. As we look closely at the footage, we can tell you the animal in question is a yak, a bovid animal that lives in the mountainous areas of the Asian continent. Although they are known to be domesticated, they are still quite intimidating. Especially if there is no human owner or any other experienced person nearby. It's obvious that the animal is quite strong, even though it adds the excitement of the bike ride. Number 1. We saw a couple of abandoned houses on this list, but nothing is as scary as an abandoned asylum. A few years ago, the guys from The Proper People decided to go explore an abandoned asylum at night. This is, sure enough, the place was already creepy enough. However, things got a bit more spooky as they turned off their flashlights and spotted a person near some staircase and the footage. You can see that this person is holding a cell phone. You can even see the light from the screen, but they found it much more disturbing. The fact that there were no other cars around the building as asylum. Literally in the middle of nowhere. So who could that be? The guys tried a song to the person, but this one did not reply. Rather than saying find out, they decided to go out of the area. We have completed the 10 GoPro clip connection. This shows us that GoPro cameras are very practical for all sorts of adventures. Whether it's urban exploration or an ordinary bike ride, the use of a GoPro can reveal some pretty shocking footage when we least expect. Has you ever recorded something creepy with your camera? Let us know in the comment section down below. With all that's said and done, that's our video for the day, folks, and we'll see you all next time later.